Real quick, I just want you to appreciate all the things I had to go through to make this episode happen. Not only have I been sick for the past couple days, but my camera broke as well, and I had to borrow someone else's. But there will not be a hiatus so soon after the last one. I promise. Good morning! So on today's episode of SwendooG, we've got a mini theme of bad situations being turned into great situations. And to that end, let's talk about Chernobyl. So Chernobyl's really not good for much anymore except for providing us with some wonderfully melancholic images and increasing the population of cancer. And Ukraine has been scratching its head trying to think of a way to put it to good use. Then suddenly someone said, Chernobyl takes up a lot of space. And then someone else said, you know what else takes up a lot of space? Solar panels. And so it was that the safer parts of Chernobyl would be outfitted with solar panels in order to provide energy just like it used to with its nuclear power plants. Which is a really cool idea, not just because it uses all of that space for something productive, but it's also kind of symbolic. As it stands, the amount of solar panels planned to be in the city of Chernobyl will generate 1.2 gigawatts of electricity, enough to power nearly 100,000 homes. And Ukraine wants to keep adding to that by incentivizing more companies to invest and double that energy output. So North and South Korea don't get along very well. In other news, the grass is green and we perceive the sky is blue. But an orchestra created from members of both North and South Korea has come together and is attempting to teach peace and has been doing so throughout the past 9 years. Playing at the demilitarized zone between the two countries, the Lindenbaum Festival Orchestra aims to bring as many people from both sides together as possible. That gives them a chance to just come and talk with one another and give them something to enjoy instead of hating the other country. The founder of the orchestra, John Woon, believes that conflict usually comes throughout a lack of communication. So by bringing as many people together as possible, he hopes to make everyone understand that we're all just humans and that the conflict that North and South Korea have is not worth it. John hopes that the good he and his orchestra does will plant the seeds for something much bigger in the future. For the last story of the week, the Texas Children's Hospital was able to miraculously separate two twins conjoined by the belly at birth. After spending over a year in the hospital, one of the twins has finally made it back home, and the other one will be too very soon. It took 75 doctors and a surgery that lasted 7 hours straight, but the two twins were eventually successfully separated. It could not have been easy either. I mean, just look at that conjoined part. It's like a bubble of flesh. I mean, like what's in there? Like what's in, what is that? It's crazy how we can do things like that. I mean, I record myself and you all watch my past self talk about random stuff sent to you through the air into your little distraction boxes. Think about this for a second. We can fix people's eyes by shooting lasers into them. We can take out a man's heart and give him another heart. Crazy, man. Alright, another week down. I tell you, life just keeps moving faster and faster. It's kind of hard to keep up with it sometimes. So I'm going to leave you with a quick question before I tune off for next week. You find a book and begin to read it, only to discover that the book is your own life. You get to the part where you are now. Do you keep reading it? Until then, I'll see you next week. Well, you'll see me, I can't see you. Have a good day.
Wait, actually, let me, while I'm filming, let me make sure you focus. Do this on air. Get focus.
Do we settle for close enough?
Settle
for perfect.
We never settle for perfect. Okay, we're rolling. So.
Hello, good morning. My name is Carson and I'm going to be teaching you all a lesson in humility. For instance, one day you think you got it all. You're a college senior, you're doing good. Okay. The next day you're on a green screen talking to a shoe thing.
Alright.
But it's kind of symbolic that now Chernobyl is being used. But it's kind of symbolic that it's energy. But it's kind of symbolic that the city that was ruined. But it's kind of symbolic that the city that was. But it was kind of. But it's also symbolic that the city that was ruined by an energy source is now being used. But it's also kind of symbolic.